Our headlines today. England's water companies say we're sorry for spilling sewage into rivers and seas and pledge £10 billion to put things right.
The paparazzi and the prince. Questions over what happened on the streets of New York as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex say they were involved in a car chase.
Good morning. Another sign of the cost of living crisis, as up to 1 million people may have cut off their broadband in the last year to save costs. I'll be finding out what support there is for those on the lowest incomes.
Good morning. A Manchester City masterclass. They dominate Real Madrid to reach the Champions League final in their pursuit for a remarkable treble.
And most of the front pages, including the Times, you can see here, featuring pictures of Prince Harry and Meghan, who, according to the couple's spokesperson, were involved in a near-catastrophic car chase. The paparazzi, along with Meghan's mother, in New York on Tuesday.
The Guardian turns its attention to the £10 billion pledge from water companies in England to stop sewage from flowing into rivers and seas. It comes as the firms apologise for failing to do enough to tackle the problem.
Daily Telegraph now, focusing on the cost of obesity to the NHS, reporting that the heaviest patients cost the health service twice the amount of those of a healthy weight.
And one of the most read stories on the BBC News website is the release of this year's SATs reading paper, after some teachers and parents said it was so tough that it left children in tears. We'll be talking to the Vice President of the National Association of Head Teachers to get reaction to the paper just after 7 o'clock. And that paper has now been seen, so we can go through a couple of those questions and just see how difficult they are.
It's quite interesting, isn't it, given all the conversations and the chatter about how difficult they were to actually see some of what it is.
And also to understand, I suppose, the impact of, that paper, because there were loads of issues in terms of whether there was too much nuance expected to be identified by children, but also there was much more to read than compared to previous SATs papers, so many papers weren't being finished, and that caused some distress.
Take a look then to see what's dominating the front pages this morning. Now, the Metro leads with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's claim that paparazzi in New York pursued them in a 2-hour car chase where collisions were only narrowly avoided. The Eye pictures Harry and Meghan leaving an event moments before it's understood that pursuit took place. And the Telegraph leads with what it describes as the massive cost that obesity is having on the National Health Service. And the Times reports on a £10 billion plan by the water and sewage companies to prevent sewage spills. And here's the Guardian's front page. Their headline there, PM accused of being out of touch over cost of living. But the Express reports that Mr Sunak is planning tax cuts before the next general election. And the Mail suggests that despite previously insisting he wouldn't, Sir Keir Starmer will try to renegotiate Brexit if he gets to number 10. And the Star tells us that instead of dunking biscuits in our tea, 1 in 10 of us is likely actually to do it with, wait for this, sausage rolls. Really? Who are these people? Well, there you go, then, each to their own. And if you want to see any of those front pages again or read the stories, just scan the QR code on your screen.